Hand clap to the master, guys. We're definitely back again for another one on the one and only Mystelics reaction channel, guys. I have to save the big impact for the next video right there, guys. Of course, we're gonna be doing 2 reactions today. So without further ado, guys, welcome to all the Mystelics family outside large all over the place who have tuned into yet another reaction video. And of course, big up the newcomers out there. There's a lot of you guys out there, so I just want to say welcome to you guys as well. If you have not done so, definitely subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through right there. And then there's actually 2 parts to this video. Of course, you can pretty much check in the description for you to see the time frames if you want to check them out, and the skip to whichever time frame that you want to check out. But we must make mention of something that actually took place in the nature of the Caribbean, which of course the cricketers actually came into Dominica, the Bangladesh team. And of course there was something rather interesting taking place. But before you get into that, guys, don't forget to download the Mystelics Tube app. Actually, forget that right there. Download the Mystelics Tube app. That will be the first comment in the comment box below, as well as the previous video. The latest video that will be dropping about 2 hours from now from this year video. So definitely don't forget to download the Mystelics Tube app, and of course subscribe and turn on that post notification so you can get all the videos as they tend to come through right there. Now, guys, as I was stating before, the Bangladesh team, the Bangladesh national team, definitely came through Dominica yesterday, and of course this Facebook page stated something rather interesting that was taking place on the boat with the Bangladesh team. Now, guys, the reason for me putting this out there is so that individuals can actually know, and it's not a bad thing when it comes down to traveling on ferries. But I'm going to explain to you what exactly happened or could have happened in this instant right there. Several members of the Bangladesh national cricket team, including some cricketers, were wrecked on a horrific ferry journey, brothers and sisters. A ferry journey. I'm Miss Tina Turner, the ferry oddly parents, whatever is the name. But it's not that. It's a ferry, brothers and sisters. It's a boat. They came on a boat, and apparently the Atlantic Ocean was rough. Of course, we know about the conditions out there. There's actually right now there's a tropical wave passing over the nature of the Caribbean, and of course, therefore, yesterday would definitely have some rough seas, especially when it comes down to the Caribbean or Atlantic Ocean right there. Of course, this was definitely a horrific experience for individuals who most likely are not accustomed of this very thing right there. Shariful Islam and Nurul Hassan have fallen sick due to big waves and motion sickness on their way to Dominica. And of course, these are some pictures of them right there on the ship. Brothers and sisters, they were trying their utmost best, but it seems like that's when they went on top the ship. And that's one of the things I have to mention to you guys. When you're traveling on the ferries, especially if you have motion sickness, it is better to go on the top of the ship and not at the bottom, because most likely you feel that all the different things at the bottom, whereas at the top it rocks a bit slow. So it's, you know, like when you have a pendulum or whatever they call it, the swing. This is far, so you wouldn't feel much, but if you're on top there, you will feel most of the thing. Well, at the bottom of the ocean, when you are actually at the boat, when it's rocking, you will pretty much feel all the rocks, whereas if you're at the top, it's a bit slower at the top. So that's much better to be at the top of the boat instead of at the bottom of the boat right there. And I suspect a number of them were actually at the bottom of the boat right there, chilling and what have you. And of course, it did not go too well with some of them, brothers and sisters. They were puking and stuff, and this is not an uncommon thing. This is a very common thing. I remember one time I actually felt that way, and I went on top and I felt much better, especially if you go outside. I think that's where they were right there. That's where they were right there in this area outside on the deck where the breeze blow. If you have motion sickness and whatnot, brothers and sisters, go outside on the deck. Take the cool breeze. The cool breeze will help you, and so forth and so forth. So this is one of the reasons why I had to post this out there. But it's rather unfortunate that this actually had to happen to them. And of course, meet the headways right there. The Bangladesh players were sent to Dominica on a ferry through the hostile Atlantic Ocean, which was horrifying to most of the cricketers. They are not used to traveling through such conditions, and a lot of them fell sick during the journey. And of course, I think the reason why they had to travel because of the weather conditions as well, and the planes were not able to fly, you know, because of the weather, the tropical systems that were passing. They actually, 3 of them actually passed over the weekend. This is another one that is passing right now. I'm not sure if you guys are hearing the rain, but that's what happened right there. So it's a hostile vibes when you're traveling through the ocean sometimes, but it's best that individuals go on the top deck, and if not just the top deck, you go outside at the back where these guys were right there. This is on the top at the back, and of course I guess they felt the rubble at the bottom and had to come up in the name of the Most. Yes, how himself, you see me. Anyways, guys, let's continue down there. Many Bangladesh cricketers are not happy with the BCB and complaining about this horrific incident. So unfortunate, but I think they should have informed them. Most likely, if you know these individuals are not accustomed to these kind of things, I think you should have told them that it is better to go at the top of this thing. I don't think I didn't see anybody complain about West Indies cricket team being sick or anything like that. But the Bangladesh people most likely were not accustomed to these kind of things, and I think they should have told them that it is better to be at the top and at the back, but at the top most likely to have a better experience when it comes down to this thing. Because I know what it feels like. I know what it feels like, and we have to go at the top. I even had a vlog on this right there some time back when I came back to Dominica on a ferry. That was probably in 2018 or something like that. But yeah, so just in case other people are trying to come through and say, but Jay, they had a horrific experience and whatnot. Guys, the best way to enjoy this whole thing is to go at the top. Of course, you get to see more things. The breeze blows better at the top. And of course, you can go at the back and definitely relax. And sometimes even socialize, because there's a number of persons at the top as well. So it's quite unfortunate that they had to go through this experience. And this is probably why when they had a little ceremony at the Kepinski right there, as you can see, this is a bit of a ceremony that they had, a celebration, I guess, showing the culture of Dominica, man. Creole. By the way, Creole is coming up in October, guys. Make sure you come to Dominica on that vibrations right there. Creole season, October, full of October, and of course the ending, the last week of October, the last 7 days will definitely have some good activities and some fun right there. So definitely make sure that you are here in Dominica for that. And if you are traveling by the ferry, make sure you go at the top of the boat. That is the best place for you to be right now. I think probably that's why the West Indies individuals were probably at the top and understood for themselves. They learned and were at the top, because you can see a number of them at the back there. You can see a number of them are there in the maroon clothes, but you don't see the Bangladesh individuals. They were probably gone at that time, man. Man, I need some rest. So that was a little celebration that they had at the wherever they are. I was going to say where, but I'll leave that out there. Brothers and sisters, if you know, you know. If you don't know, well, too bad for you. But one thing I know for sure that we are missed right there, or have been missed, is indeed Liat, guys. Of course, Liat has dwindled down on its flights all over the place, for which individuals have to try to figure out how they can make flights. And what my cousin is actually trying to get to Dominica, and she has to travel a number of things, stop over, stay there overnight there, and then come to Dominica, because Liat is not operating like it used to. And of course, they're trying to, I think they're trying to end Liat right there. So what unfortunate, but of course, the Bangladesh individuals came from St. Lucia, and of course the St. Lucia tourism minister stated, we miss Liat, brothers and sisters, we miss Liat. St. Lucia tourism minister Dr. Ernest Hillary has spoken up on behalf of Liat while observing the need for regional travel capacity and acknowledge. Anyways, guys, let's continue. There's something rather interesting we have to make mention of right there. We actually do not have high and regional travel. We actually do not have high regional travel right now. You know, when Liat used to go all over the place, there was more ability to travel as a result of Liat being there. But since Liat is not as full capacity like it was before, then you know things have gone down. And of course, stated right there was probably, we actually do not have a high regional travel right now, and regional travel was probably our second largest source of arrivals in 2019, and we virtually have no regional travel, and we are already up to 75 to 80% of what we were in 2019 without a significant regional travel component like Liat. And so that is an issue right there, and it is an issue, like I said before, that I'm going to raise with the Prime Minister, in the St. Lucia Prime Minister, in a very detailed way. What can we do? I think Barbados is trying to do something in this regard, trying to get a flight or something going for the Caribbean. I think they're trying to do that. Sometime back, I remember they were talking about something like that. Hopefully it comes through. What can we do to provide greater support to Liat, to get Liat functioning once again? Well, I think Liat, the reason why Liat functioned was because of bad management, brothers and sisters. It was a terrible management. People just not using the monies, and they're taking majority of the money instead of putting it back in Liat. And of course, Liat had to end up, you know, collapsing, from my understanding of how Liat collapsed right there. I think it has a lot to do with Antigua and how Antigua ran Liat. Yes, we must all agree, Liat was not the best example of a well-run, well-managed company. I just stated that right there. There are a lot of criticisms of Liat, but we have had experiences over decades that when others came promised a lot and failed to deliver, we always had to go back and rely on Liat with all its deficiencies. Is what the tourism minister stated right there. So it's rather unfortunate that we had to see. I can't believe we actually complaining that we missed Liat. I actually studied this one time. I remember when I hopped on Seaborne Airlines, and Seaborne Airlines, I was like, they only gave us water, but if I was on Liat, I'd probably get a orange juice. You know what I mean? I check it by Miss Liat right there. But it is what it is, guys. Hopefully they can do something to integrate again. I guess Caribbean Airlines, I think Caribbean Airlines, I know back in the day, wanted to deal more in Dominica. There's a number of other airlines. Air Antilles, I think, is another one. Air Antilles has been coming to Dominica, and I think that is one of the planes that have been, you know, up on par when it comes down to the travel of Dominica and number of places. But of course, because of the limitations of Liat, and of course the travel schedules of what Liat has now, this is most likely why the Bangladesh and Bangladesh individuals, the cricket team and West Indies cricket team had to use the ferry to come into Dominica right there. And of course they were not accustomed to that, but I think they should have told them that it's better for them to be at the top of the boat, not at the bottom of the boat, which of course will definitely be worse. A lot of individuals can handle at the bottom, they don't really get affected by that, but for individuals from time to time, it is better for you to go at the top of the boat and of course go outside and get some fresh air, man, and some vitamin D. The sun giving some vitamin D, man. Talking about vitamin D, guys, you have to be careful where you manage your vitamin D, fellas. Fellas, you have to manage that properly. Reminds me of this particular video that, of course, has been circulating. I saw it on Facebook, and of course, this was sent about by Dominicans. And this côtoyé me, man. It devastated me, man. When I saw this magic going on. Woman trying to make a man pay. When he bring food, he taking care of his kids, you know. His kid, I mark you. But because she have other kids, she want him to now take care of the other kids as if it's his problem. Let's get to view this right there.
Daddy, my baby daddy come
He bought food for his child, but not her other kids.
here.
I'm going to try my best to be as you guys know me already.
One meal for my child, but I have 3 other kids.
Nobody cares. Okay, sorry.
We have 1 kid together, but he only want to come and bring one thing to McDonald's. But what about my other kids?
What about them? What about the other kids? Is these are these my kids? Huh? Did I impregnate you on a subliminal level? Or via Bluetooth, and they became my kids. Aha!
How come you can't see my other kids?
Because they ain't his kids. That's why.
So, like that bogus as hell. Like you're not gonna sit here and make my other kids feel left out, and you're only bringing one child something.
No, he's not bringing one youth something. He's bringing the one he is responsible for. He is responsible for.
Eat. Look, there you go. And I bet you he only got one thing in there.
Why should he have multiple? Is he taking care of the one that is his own? Yes.
I bet you he don't even.
What about the other kids? Daddies. What about their daddies? Their daddies don't care. You don't want to go and mess with the other daddies. You should be happy, Marquisa, that somebody is actually feeding one of the 4 daddies or one daddies, these 4 children, 4 youths. One of the daddies is actually taking care of his youth. You should be grateful. But you're trying to make noise with the man now. And when the man stop because of your cantankerous, dirty ways, then you're going to complain and say he's a dirty, he's a deadbeat dad. You see, that is what I don't get with women. Anyways, guys, let's continue.
I'm finna expose out of him so people can see how he really is. It ain't more than enough food in that bag for everybody. What's up? Because I'm finna expose you. What? Because that don't look enough for all my kids. That don't look enough for all my kids. What is that? That's just one burger? One burger, one fry?
What he like? What do you mean?
Oh.
Yeah, his son. Like I said before, where are the other little youths' daddies? Where are they? You got mess with some worthless fellas. They don't come in and show up for their youths. You have one man that doing it. You want him to feed you. Just make him feed the world now. Just make him go and buy McDonald's for the whole community. All children, come and get your food back.
Okay, what about my other kids? No, I don't get my food stamps to the 7th.
Lisa, is that my problem?
I don't know. That's what I want to know.
But if you're trying to help out, though,
he ain't trying to help your other kids. He's helping his kids. And if from the goodness of his heart, hallelujah, he will maybe think the thought of doing that. But he ain't there to feed other man, little youths. You know what happens in nature? When a lion comes in the province and takes over that territory, it slaughters the other people, the other lions and babies, and mates to the female, so it can have its own line coming through. You don't care about the others, but all you happy in human terms, boy. You want man to just come and take your people, baby. That don't. But you have to be careful with all your baby weave.
you're not helping out.
I'm not trying to help. I'm trying to help my son.
How are you helping your son when you're only getting food for just him and not the other kids?
That's what he's doing. He's helping his youth out.
His siblings. Them are his siblings, though. He's not finna eat in front of all his other siblings if they're not eating at McDonald's.
She has a valid point there. He shouldn't be, eating in front of the other ones while the others not there. So what the father should do, take his kid and go and eat. I don't have to worry about your other kids. They send my kids since when? Huh? You getting tax something, what do you call that tax? Whatever tax at the end of the year thing, the tax returns for the other three little ones? No. You getting all and you still have to supply. No man, we keep it.
No, why do I gotta put...
Bring him out to the car. I'll let you.
No.
Exactly.
He's not finna eat that at all if you can't bring enough for everybody.
So you're gonna leave my son hungry? You're gonna leave my son hungry because I don't want to bring for your other baby, for your other kids that ain't mine? The one that is mine, I want to take care of. You trying to expose the man for not being a good daddy when he's actually a good daddy to his youth. You want him to be a good daddy to all the others. Well, might as well call him Father Teresa. Might as well.
So you're telling me that I gotta bring, so when I bring my son food, I gotta bring your kids food too now?
Yes.
You sound dumb.
How is that dumb? You sound dumb. You sound dumb.
Where are they daddies at? Nobody told you.
That's a great question. Where their daddy is? Where their daddy's at?
Talk to mother. You have them other kids.
Exactly.
They're not my responsibility.
Exactly.
Okay, but if you're gonna bring one, you need to bring it for all.
She said okay, which means she agreed with what he's saying. And then she just completely ignored it and say, well, if you want to bring one, you have to bring all. This ain't his responsibilities.
How do that look that I'm letting one child eat McDonald's and all the rest of the kids ain't eat no fucking McDonald's? You know I get food stamps on the 11th.
Well, maybe you should be careful how you spend the food stamps. And where are the other baby daddies and they helping? You have one that is helping and you're trying to run him away. But all you do is in that place then a father. One helping, the others you waiting for food stamps, Makwesa. This is one of the reasons why, the black women in the community separated themselves from black men, because they will focus on the money given by government and the food stamps. And they kick the black men out. This is the kind of craziness I'm talking about, But maybe the fathers, them are deadbeat dads too, but you have a good one there and you try to make him go. Because you don't want him to feed his child because he doesn't feed your rest of your children. Boy, you man do easy, no boy.
3 kids that ain't mine. 3 kids that ain't mine.
Exactly.
Yeah, they're his siblings. You knew what you was getting into when you had a baby with me.
No, he didn't. And even if he did, does that mean, okay, if he had a baby, if he didn't have a baby, that means he still has to take care of the other 3 ones? So because he has a baby with you now, that means he now has to take care of everybody? What his money looking like? His money looking like it's for the community, and it seems like you for the streets, because come on. And only one daddy is doing something about it. That means you for the streets, my girl. You for the that's according to what is his name, Soluminati. But come on, man. Women only need to stop all the dirty ways. The man come to feed his youth. I understand the sentiment that you're saying. You don't want the little one to be eating in front of the other siblings. And of course, that might cause some jealousy and whatnot. So let him take his little youth and go. Whose fault is it that you have 4 kids? You. Nobody else's fault but you. So you cannot make the man who is responsible for his one youth be responsible for the rest 3 when it was you that caused that to happen?
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did.
You expect me to take care of these? They're not my kids.
Yep.
Okay, but you still had a baby with me who have kids with other people. I still have other kids.
Why are you recording me first of all?
Because I'm exposing.
You exposing your own self, my girl, for being foolish. This is ridiculous. The man come to feed his kid. You actually show him as a good pops, and then you're making the other pops seem terrible because they are not there at all. But he seems to be the only person that you have good in your life. And you're trying to screw it up for yourself. You know, because if you continue doing that very thing right there, he's going to eventually stop doing it. He's not going to be bringing food for these other people that not his own. You should tell the other fathers to step up. That is not right what you're doing. And women need to be held accountable for the dirty ways that they have, man. Thunder rolling. Let's go.
Everybody think you're such a motherfucking good daddy. No, you're not.
He is. It is very clear. Look at him. He's right there bringing food for his youth. Or you can say the man not a good father. Eh? No, man.
No, you're not. You're foolish in this bullshit. You only come here with one piece of food for one child.
Because that's his youth. None of the others ain't his.
The child that's mine, silly.
No, that's dumb that you can't feed the other kids. Don't.
No, it's dumb that you are not holding the other fathers accountable for not feeding their youths. It is also dumb that you are the one who made youths with, and by youths I mean little ones. Some of you guys might not know the lingo, Caribbean lingo. The little ones, the little people, the youths. Sometimes you cannot say certain things on YouTube constantly because YouTube might think something going on. But of course, you are the one who should be responsible for ensuring that the people that you make children with are actually sound and good and can be capable of doing such a thing. You think you're just going willy-nilly all over the place, just freeing up yourself like you have no responsibilities at all. And when responsibility does meet you, you then want to hold VNX and vagabonds responsible when you know that they are not capable of doing that. You are the one to blame. You have a good man in front of you right there and you're giving him problem for trying to feed his little one. That's insane, brothers and sisters.
Feed nobody at all. Then he can't take that. He can't eat it.
Maybe if you had 1 or 2, I could like, you know, maybe.
Man, maybe nothing, bro. What? You guys Derek Jackson, huh?
Hey. It's 3 extra kids. What the? I'm not going to my mother account, spending money on all those kids.
No, she wants you to spend money for the community. When you do this, she should make noise if you and go and feed the whole community, apparently. That is what she wants you to do.
They're not my kids.
Them are your kid siblings, though.
Them are your kid siblings. This ain't his kid. This ain't his youths.
Done.
So that's what you gonna go with? That's the one you gonna
Those are your fucking kid siblings.
If it's me, I going back with my food until you come to your common senses and realize that I'm feeding my own. I don't have to be responsible for the others. What would Derek Jackson say in this situation, guys? I just mentioned his name and I remember something. Hey, a real man don't bring McDonald's for only his youth. He brings groceries for all her youths and her new man. But Derek Jackson is one big foolish tebe. One big foolish tebe. And he talking all the things, you know. And he end up cheating on his wife. The same man that was degrading fellas, saying fellas shouldn't cheat on their wife and this kind of things there. He was cheating on his wife. That's something else, eh? That's a heck of a thing right there. But look, this is something I sure Derek Jackson would definitely say right there. But you know, guys, let me go back to
talking like, you know, maybe. You got it's 3 extra kids. What the? I'm not going to my mother account, spending money on those all.
She wants you to use your money for the mistakes that she made with the worthless fellas that she gonna have youths with. Fellas, do not fall for the stupidness. But if I was a little baby boy, if I was a little one, siblings watching me eat my food, yes, boy. Me eating McDonald's, my daddy brought me, of course, enjoying. They watching. Hey, how you doing over there? Things are okay? Things are not. You are a little hungry? Okay. Maybe things will look up, man. But if I was a sibling, I'd probably give them a little, 2 fries, something like that. I wouldn't give them complete. But the father taking care of his youth, and that's what you want to do? Nah, man. All you need to stop all your dirty ways in the place, man. Stop all your dirty ways, man. I even forget Mr. name. Mr. does disappear from the face of the earth. Anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in this regard. Maybe it's just me. Maybe it's just me. On a personal note, I think that the guy is doing a wonderful job taking care of his own. And if he has a bonus or something, he would have probably, if I was the person, I would probably buy one for my own, my youth. And if I so feel led by the Holy Ghost himself, I touch my back and say, you know what, I have blessed you. Let me give you, I'll buy an extra box. And the freak can feed on it. The freak can feed on an extra box. But my youth I taking care of, my own. You check, the woman come in and make you know back. Especially when the statistics go out now, fellas finding out that they need to do paternity tests regularly. That's good. Because 32% in 2020, 2021, 2020, 2021, around there, fathers unknowingly fathered little ones that were not their own. And you know one is yours, and you know the other's not yours, but she wants you to father them too. Boy, all you good in that place. This is why women need to understand. When men step up to the plate to take care of youths that are not his own, and you're trying to give him problems, you must take hell wide. You must split hell wide open. You have to split hell wide open. You them all you woman them. Man taking care of youths that not their own, and they know it's not their own, and they decide to step up to the plate, and you're trying to give him hard time. When you're trying to correct your youth, you try to, nah, man. That is why fellas don't want to be, taking care of other people's youths. They want to know is their bloodline that continuing. This is why all fellas, all you need to take all the paternity tests and stop listening to those girls when they, oh, that is your baby. Nah, man. Swab mouth, man. Go and take a DNA test, man. So you can know. And sometimes they say DNA test might be expensive and one. I understand. But with the sentiment of pain for 18 years versus, paying a little amount of money for the time, it can save you a lot. So I think fellas out there need to start doing paternity tests. And sometimes you might say, but the girl might get angry. She not there all the time. Swap the baby mouth, man. And go and do your DNA test like other fellas have been doing. There's home DNA tests now. And when you come on negative, that's tough. Anyways, guys, with all that steady right there, let me know your thoughts in this regard. Who do you think is right there? I just give my thoughts. Let me know your thoughts as well. And people, once you're traveling on ferries, remember that, of course, to be at the top of the ferry boat is much better than being at the bottom of the ferry boat right there. Go at the top or go outside. If you feel the top is still thin, go outside. You must get that thing. Breathe in deeply, man. And breathe out, man. You're alive and well. Don't afraid to breathe. Anyways, guys, with that said, give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to download the Mystelics Tube app. And of course, I will see you guys in the next reaction video. Boom, bang. I'm doing another one, guys. So definitely stay tuned for this one as well.